I wanna go back and do it all over, but I can't go back. I know. Eddie Money, I wanna go back. You ever wanna go back? A time machine. Gonna build a time machine. It's like Napoleon Dynamite. That dude's got like the thing. He's like, brr. Oh man, there's so many guys like that around here. I tell you, they're funny, man. I got bad news for those of you keeping up with this stuff. I'm trying to pay close attention to everything going on. It's all over in different news feeds and in the media and whatnot as well. So, I might as well just go ahead and talk about it. So, so we've already established in this fury of a war that's going on for Iran, and it's kind of turned into a push and shove like kind of thing. So there's already 150 U.S. troops are already injured in this. I think 108 of them went back to active duty afterwards, and I think X amount of them had serious injuries or whatnot. But we know what, most of us that have served knows what they went back to active duty means. They're probably like light duty or something like that. So they're probably that kind of situation. And the ones that don't go fully active, what happened to them. So they're going to be probably medically separated or something like that. I try to keep up with these things, and I try to tell you guys. Remember when I said it was going to get worse? It's going to get way worse. So the retention in the military was bad enough. And when you bring war into the equation, a lot of folks won't join the military because there's a war going on. That's true. That's 100% true. Usually they won't. It depends on what it is. Like the 9/11 situation, a lot of folks did join the war. I joined way before that. And I saw a lot of kids coming in afterwards. Like that's why they joined. And so a lot of folks, they have mixed feelings about a lot of this stuff. Like the wine, that kind of thing. They don't know all the details. They don't understand, and they don't understand history anymore. Kind of the whole Iran ordeal and how they treat their women. And there's a great movie if you really want to see it. I swear it's good. Just trust me. Not Without My Daughter. If you get a chance to watch that flick, it's old. It's an older movie. I think it was put out in like the 80s, but it is a true story. And it's about how, like American women, like they'll marry, like an Iranian will come to the United States. They meet them, they fall in love, they get married. Well, now you're coming back to my country, and there's no coming back after that. And the rules are different. The men can beat their women, and the children belong to the men. And there's just a lot of things that people do not understand. And to leave that country is very difficult. Once you get there, you're there. And once you marry someone from Iran, you become Iranian. You don't get to leave. You're a part of the country now. So it's a very interesting movie to watch, and it involves some, situations like that. And it kind of is like, I'm not here to talk about that movie, but it's kind of ironic. The karma that plays out in that movie is just ridiculous. And you'll catch on to it if you watch it. But, So the president had told Iran to leave the Straits alone. The Straits are where all the ships are coming through. A lot of them are turning their transponders off so that they can't be tracked when they go through. So basically there's no message that's a signature of a ship. Like they have the code that comes up. The code won't show, so it disappears when it gets to a certain point and then reappears when it reaches the other side. So they've made it through the Straits. They have to shut that off so they can get through without being tracked. So that's what they've been doing all this time to get around the situation where, the ship can get blown up, captured, or whatever else. Okay. Well, now, and the president had told them, hey, leave the Straits alone. Better leave them open, or I'm going to, do something crazy. So they decided to put mines. So now the Iranians are dropping in mines all throughout the straits so that they can just blow up the ships as they come through. And that just started today. And so there's that. That's not good. That's all the supplies and a lot of other countries like Vietnam. There's a list of countries that are already telling their folks to work from home because of there might not be any fuel for a while. So that's already getting discussed. And so with that being said, now some of U.S.'s largest bombers, the ones that do the carpet bombing, the huge amounts of bombs just come rolling out the belly of them and just lay hate as they go. There's 2 of those headed over there now, or they're probably already there, So that is going to be crazy. It's just going to be devastating. Now, the reason why I brought you here is to tell you that, but to also tell you this. When asked, so some of you are aware of this, the president has already stated that the draft is back on the table, that the draft never left. It's still there, so that there is a possibility that there's going to be a draft. Now, it sounds crazy because nobody likes drafts. Anyone in the military doesn't like drafts. And people that are already serving hate drafts because the people that usually come in are usually the people you really don't want with you when you're in a situation. I've said this many times because they don't want to be there to begin with and they're drafted. So, and then it requires a lot of fingers on the pulse, to keep them from going sideways on you and making sure that they follow the rules. That's always the hard part about people who get drafted. So, anyway, it just sucks. But the retention's not so great when a war breaks out. Sometimes if they don't agree with the war that's going on, a lot of folks will leave. And then to get people to join it, sometimes it's a lot harder to get people to just sign up for something if there's a war going on. So that's always one of the things. It's either give or take. You never know what you're going to get. And then for those of you that just didn't know any of that crazy drama, but the thing is, the retention was already bad. Like the past 4 years earlier was really bad, and they were getting to the point of wanting to initiate a draft even though there wasn't a war, just to get people in the service because it was getting so bad, because people were not staying in their MOSs. They were leaving and checking out because they just didn't want to be there. They didn't want to serve under that administration, so they left. So there was a lot of that going on, and then there was an uptick. The past year, there was a huge uptick of folks joining because they were, oh yeah, it's going to be good. And so they were all jumping in and thinking, there wasn't going to be any wars because we were under the non-war type thing. So we were not going to do any wars now. And, there's not going to be any high gas prices or any of that. So everybody's like, hey, it's like, so everyone's happy. And now it's the opposite of that. So getting people to stay is very difficult when you're in these circumstances. So just to give you guys a heads up, and there is video of it. So for those of you that want to surf the internet and find out if I'm telling the truth, you can do your own research. But I don't make this stuff up. I know just as much as you sometimes, but a lot of the times I hear something that's a little bit wacky, so I have to share with the rest of you. So for those of you that aren't watching all this, I did it for you, and now I'm sharing. And that being said, so you may want to share this video with a few folks and let folks know that there is a possibility of a draft that's already being discussed, that they may have to start bringing folks in. So anyways, God bless, take care, and stay sane.